DNS, or the Domain Name System, is the way your computer finds out which IP address is associated with a domain name. When you type example.com into an address bar, your computer first has to find the IP address of the web server hosting example.com before it can connect to get the page you're looking for. You can think of an IP address as the geographical coordinates of your home and the domain name as the postal address. Using the postal address, it is possible to find the geographical coordinates of your home. It works the same way for domain names. Where you might use Google Maps for postal addresses, your computer uses DNS for IP addresses. When a DNS request is made by a computer, the computer first looks if it already has the answer in its cache. The cache contains the answer to recent requests that will probably still be accurate. If it doesn't, it will ask a resolving name server, like Cloudflare's Wandot or Google's public DNS. This server will then see if it has the answer in its cache. If it doesn't, it will ask a server called the root name server. This server will never know the answer to the original query, but it will tell the resolving name server to ask the TLD name server of the domain. The TLD is the last part of the domain, like com, net, or UK. This TLD name server will also never know the answer. It will always redirect the resolver to the name server of the domain. Once the resolver has the address of the name server of that domain, it will ask that server. This server will always have the answer. It is the source of truth for that domain. The resolving name server will put this answer in its cache and remember this answer for some time so it doesn't have to go through all this trouble again. Now that you know what DNS is, I will show you how to set it up with Cloudflare. First, you must add your domain name to Cloudflare. This process is rather simple, but the specifics depend on your domain registrar. You will have to send your name servers to the ones Cloudflare provides. Let's say I've just set up a web server with an IPv4 address. If I want my domain to go to this IPv4 address, I can create a DNS record in the Cloudflare dashboard. After you've added your site, go to the dashboard, then click on the site you want to use. Now, go to the DNS tab on the site. Here you will be able to add DNS records to your domain. To do this, click Add Record, and for now select the A type. This means that you'll be adding an IPv4 address, as opposed to an AAAA record for an IPv6 address. For name, you can either enter the subdomain, which I will show you in a moment, or you can enter an @ symbol to use the root of your domain. Now we enter the IP address where our website is hosted. Now we can select the proxy status. If you only want to manage DNS with Cloudflare, you should set the proxy to DNS only. If instead you want to make use of other Cloudflare functions on this domain, you should set the proxy status to proxied. This is what I will do now. Now click Save. Now we can go to our domain and see that it indeed worked. Cloudflare even automatically added SSL. Now I will set up subdomain to show you how to use a CNAME record. You can think of a CNAME as an alias, directing traffic from one domain or subdomain to another. To demonstrate setting up a CNAME, I've created a Cloudflare Pages project. Setting this up is outside the scope of this video. First, we click the Add Record button again. For type, we will select CNAME. Now we enter the subdomain we want to use, in our case, example. For target, we enter the URL that was provided to us. We can again choose if we want to proxy this record. Now click Save. If you now go to our site, example time4.site, we'll see that indeed the CNAME worked. One thing to keep in mind when editing DNS records is that it may take some time to propagate. This can be sped up by using Cloudflare's Wandot as your resolving DNS. Thank you for watching.